Hey, what's up YouTube? It's abluegolfball here today with another Pokemon TCG online video, and today I have for you guys the long-awaited arrival of the Tyrantrum EX here onto this channel, on abluegolfball's channel. We have the 180 HP Dragon-type Pokemon with Deposit's Fang. The damage done by this Pokemon's attacks isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. That means if you were playing in the expanded format, you're up against a Safeguard Pokemon, don't matter. Dragon Impact's gonna go through that. If you're playing against Aegislash and you are using a double Dragon Energy, don't matter. Special energies can go through the Mighty Shield. Yes, indeed. This ability is pretty fun, and I think it has potential. I think this is one of those promos where I like it. I like it a lot. So Dragon Impact here does 190, and you have to discard 3 energies attached to this Pokemon. And it's kind of reminiscent of the Black Ballista, Black Kyurem, right? Black Kyurem, Black Ballista back in the Plasma Storm. You discard 3 energies, and yeah, I mean it's 10 short, right? But I don't know. 190 is pretty darn good. And you can still knock out most EXs, even Team Magma Groudon EX, or Team Aqua Kyogre, which they're 190 HP, so you can still knock them out. That's pretty cool. You'll have some trouble with Megas, that's for sure. I mean, you may be able to you could slap a Muscle Band and hit for 120, no, not 120, 210. I reversed those numbers. And, yeah, I mean, that could work, but I actually found that it's just sometimes wasn't worth it to do that. So, I don't know. Tyrantrum EX, 180 HP, 3 retreat costs, weak to Fairy, but still, that's gonna be fun. I only have 2 copies of these because you guys saw my Tyrantrum EX box openings. This is where they're from, but still, 2 actually works pretty well. We have 3 Shaman EXs here for setup and potentially Sky Return. You never know, Sky Return could be pretty useful, and so Sky Return hits for 30, and then you can bring this guy back into your deck or into your hand. We have Aegislash EX, the 170 HP Mighty Shield. So they kind of talked about that. So the Mighty Shield will actually be inferior because of this ability, and you'd be able to do Dragon Impacts right over Mighty Shield. I believe that should be the ruling. That should be. Slash Blast here can come pretty in handy. We're just playing 2 of these as well. 3/3 line of Bronzong, and then finally a 1 line of Heatran here, the 130 HP Steel Drop. Now these guys are going to be pretty crucial here. Metal Lynx Bronzong, 90 HP, you can search it with a Level Ball. Once they're in turn before your attack, if you can attach a Metal Energy from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. Now Keldeo does not exist in the standard format, so we're going to rely on some switches here. We got 2 of these and 2 Escape Ropes, but again, this right here would be great. Being able to power this guy up. If you have 3 of these, you can power him up in 1 turn. That's pretty cool. And yes, so you will discard 3 energies, but we're playing double Dragon Energy, which really helps. That way you end up only discarding, in reality, only 2 energy cards, not 3 basic energy cards. So it'll be just 1 double Dragon Energy and then another basic energy, which is pretty solid. I like that. Anyways, that's it for the Pokemon lines. Take a look at the item cards and whatnot. We have Battle Compressor here. Search your deck for up to 3 cards and discarded them. Ideally, it's going to be perhaps supporters. So if you have VS Seeker, we can use Battle Compressor to Battle Compress a supporter that we need in a particular time, and versus a specific scenario. Or more often than not, it's going to be energy cards. So we can use Bronzong to Metal Link them right back onto our Tyrantrum or Aegislash EX. And then we have the Escape Rope, as already mentioned. Here's the Level Ball, only 1 of these to be able to get those little non-EX Pokemon in our deck, right? So we got the Professor's Letter here, 1 of these, and Repeat Ball. Repeat Ball actually works pretty well. I couldn't decide if I wanted to use 2 Level Balls or 2 Repeat Balls, but 1 Repeat Ball actually coincidentally works very well. If you already have a Shaman, can do that as well. Get another Shaman or get more Bronzongs into play. So I like that. Repeat Ball kind of works pretty well. Sacred Ash. Not sure how handy this card's going to be, but we're going to keep it in the deck. We have Switch here, as I already mentioned. Ultra Ball, 4 of these, and then we have 4 VS Seekers. AZ is going to be very good. Trust me, AZ is going to work out in this deck pretty well because the thing with Tyrantrum is that you're going to end up discarding 3 energies, and at that point, if you don't have a switch, you might as well just AZ the guy. I mean, come on, right? So Yeah, I like that. Plus, you can AZ, Shaman EX, and other things like that, too. We have Hex Maniac. Now, this can work against us, okay? It can work against us, not Heatran, against us by Aegislash. For example, if we have Aegislash in the X spot, you may not want to play Hex Maniac, just as a warning, because if you're playing Hex Maniac, that would actually shut off Mighty Shield as well, and then your next turn, your opponent can attack you if they have a DCE or something like that. So that's something to watch for, but Hex Maniac is a really good tech in scenarios where, you know, if your opponent really relies on abilities, yeah, why not? Just shut them off for a turn. 2 Lysanders could be pretty handy with that too. Professor Birch's Observation, as well as Sycamore, of course. And then we have a couple Shaunas as well. And then Teammates can be pretty handy. The thing is, Tyrantrum here could be very tricky. If you don't have AZ, don't have Escape Rope or Switch, you end up discarding 3 energies, and then you end up being stuck there, and your opponent just kind of knocks them out in 2 turns. Teammates can be pretty helpful because there's those kind of scenarios, and so you can search for teammates. You can search for, you know, anything you want. I mean, it's kind of an alternative since we don't have computer search, and I guess, you know, teammates is very situational, and so yeah, I kind of don't like that either. But anyways, we have Skyfield because we play a lot of Pokemon on the bench, and then 2 Hard Charms. Got the double Dragon energies here, 4 of these, 1 Fighting energy. Alright, now the question here is, why 1 fighting energy? Can't you just rely on the double Dragon energies? Well, Enhanced Hammer still exists. And if you fall into a scenario where one of your double Dragon energies are prized, and your opponent plays, you know, I don't know, 4 Enhanced Hammers, oh my gosh. You know, at least one of these can be very handy, and that way you can just stick, you know, 3 metal energies on your Tyrantrum. And then we have 7 of these metal energies. That's it for the deck. Let's go ahead and see this deck in action on Pokemon TCG Online. Alright, we're going to be playing against Silver Pin, and my opponent has a variety of different things in there. We saw like Lightning and Psychic and things like that. And wow, we get to go first. That is great. That way we can have the opportunity to evolve first. And here we're starting off with a not the greatest of hands. Certainly what we're going to do is probably going to have to discard maybe probably the Battle Compressor and the Double Dragon energy. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring out the Tyrantrum EX, or not Tyrantrum, Tyrantrum EX. There we go. And we'll just add this right here and that right there. We might want to just keep the Bronzor, let the Bronzor take a hit for us. That might be a good option, but, you know, I'm going to play the switch, and let's go for this right here. And, you know, I'm actually going to switch again. I'm really tempted to because of the Mighty Shield ability, and if my opponent plays a DCE and plays the Stadium, we might be able to avoid that. So we're going to go with that, and we'll go with the Shaman right here, drawing some more cards. Perfect. All right, we are all set right here, and we did burn 2 switches. That is very crucial. Burning 2 switches is a big deal since we need these switches to be able to power up Tyrantrum again onto the bench. But if anything, we may be able to stack enough energies on the Tyrantrum. If anything, we could also go with the Aegislash and Mighty Shield. That's a good option there as well. That way we don't have to keep discarding 3 energies and go in that route. So here we are. I'm just going to power up this Mighty Shield here. Again, this Pumpkaboo has a double colorless energy, which we can potentially avoid. Now, I think I might just end the turn here. Let's go for the Shauna. Let's do it. Yeah, that's right. We do have the Sky Field, which we can... definitely an option right there. We'll go ahead. We'll just play it. And let's go for the Shaman. Drawing some more cards. We got another Shaman right here. And that won't be necessary. I don't think it would be. I could go ahead and get another Bronzor going. And we can always play the AZ in the next turn. So I don't want to play too many Shamans. But again, I think I might go a little more aggressive here. And let's do that. Let's get the Bronzor. And so we can energy accelerate a little bit. And kind of get that energy back. And we'll play the Shaman for 4 more cards. And here we go. We can get another Bronzor right here too. Oh no. Yeah, I guess we can get another Bronzor. We won't be able to get the other... Alright, so that means 2 of our Bronzongs are prized. Alright, so there's that. And we got a full bench going for us right now if we counter the Stadium. And that's it, my opponent concedes the match. And, okay, so, hey, we even get a prize. Now, alright, let's check out that prize. I know every time I get a prize, You guys are always complaining that you guys never get to see it, so let's go ahead. We're going to find out right here. What do we get? And it's 3 tournament tickets. Woohoo! Yeah, 3 tournament tickets. Already then. Alright, let's do this again. Alright, we're playing against KB Magic 1, and it looks like my opponent will be choosing the coin toss here, and he's chosen heads, but it resulted in tails. We get the opportunity to go first, and we will gladly take it. Looks like it's going to be a Vespiquen, and a EV deck of some sort. I think that's my assumption. Now, we start off pretty interesting here. We have Ultra Ball and Professor Sycamore here. What we're going to do in the first turn is play the Double Dragon Energy onto our Tyrantrum, and oh, we're gonna hang on to that Shaman, that's for sure. All right, so we're gonna play that right there, and let's go ahead. We will just discard these, and I want to get the Bronzor into play right away. So here is the Bronzor, and let's get the Shaman right here. Do we get another Tyrantrum? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, we can play the Sycamore and go this route right here. And ooh, we get a Bronzong here as well. So we lost our switch. We got one left. And so, it's going to be pretty decisive, but, alright, let's go with this. I want to get another Bronzor at the very least. I could go with another Shaman, but, I think I'm going to save that 5th spot. In case my opponent Lysanders out one of these guys, I can at least guarantee evolving the Bronzong in the next turns. That's kind of what I'm intending to do, and we have a Professor Birch's Observation, which we can at least draw onto 4 cards. And so right here, that Combi is sitting on the bench. We could see a forest of giant plants or something like that. I mean, my opponent won't be able to evolve the EV right away unless he uses a water energy or lightning energy or something like that, using the energy evolution. But that would be the energy drop for my opponent this turn. And then this Combi over here won't be able to get an energy drop either. So we shouldn't see an attack, really, unless my opponent is able to play a switch. Again, I wish we were able to switch the Aegislash here, because my opponent played the DCE, which will prevent any damage done to the Aegislash because of the Mighty Shield. We do see a Shaman EX here with a setup on my opponent's side of the field, being able to draw in some more cards. So KB Magic plays the Level Ball from all the way back in Next Destinies here, being able to search for a Pokemon under 90 HP. We could see the Vespiquen right now, or we could see an evolution of some sort. We are weak to Fairy, so my opponent... ooh, I didn't see that. What did my opponent grab? Drew a card. Oh, dang it. Combi. That's probably I think that's what my opponent got, I think. Alright, so here we go. Let's go with this, and, yeah, I'm actually going to power up the Aegislash, because, you know, the opportunity for the Aegislash is too great. Now, I'm actually going to via Seeker for the Sycamore. I don't want to deal with Professor Birch in case we flip tails. And so here we go. Let's go with that. Oh, perfect. We got a Repeat Ball. We get another Bronzong going right here. We don't have the switch. So that means we won't be able to attack this turn. We missed out on that. But we have a Aegislash all ready to go. My opponent will need to power up this Combi, and it'll take a couple turns to do that. We do have Hex Maniac for the next turn. We could play that perhaps, but for now we'll end it here. Again, we have 2 more energies in the discard pile, and we do have a fighting energy here. So we can power up the Tyrantrum EX on the bench and see if we can take advantage that way. Here comes the Vespiquen right here with the DCE. We could see that come into play. My opponent has no Pokemon in the discard pile right now, but that could quickly change with some battle compressors out of nowhere. Who knows? My opponent can get into the Shaman, maybe play an Ultra Ball for a Shaman, and then draw 5 extra cards. Anything can happen right now. But we see another Vespiquen get dropped right here. That means we have to deal with that. If our Aegislash here can't handle this one, if my opponent plays some basic energies on this one, that would be pretty troublesome. We're going to have to rely on the Tyrantrum. We don't have a Heatran here. We only play one of them. And so the Heatran have been pretty good to match up with the Vespiquen, dealing with them. But here is an unknown. My opponent's going to do Farewell Letter, draw an extra card. Could see some things like Acrobike, maybe even some Trainer's Mail, and anything can happen. Oh no, here is the Sycamore. My opponent getting a nice hand size of 7, and now anything can happen here. So my opponent can continue to play Battle Compressors, get a switch perhaps, evolve the Eevee into the Jolteon, have that free retreat. So we see the energy evolution here. And we're going to see a Flareon come into play. Our Aegislash EX right here is weak to fire, as well as our other metal types. So here's the Flareon. We may have to deal with that fairly quickly. If we can get a like a switch off of this Shauna, that'd be very nice. We should be able to knock out that Flareon, assuming the Flareon doesn't retreat. But yeah, we may have to do something about the Flareon, I think. Unless we can deal with the Vespiquen here. Gotta wait and see. My opponent played the energy drop for this turn, so we shouldn't see my opponent power up this Vespiquen for another 2 turns. By then, if we can draw via Seeker, we play 4 via Seekers. If we can draw at least one of them, pick up the Lysander, and take care of this Vespiquen here, and knock it out with the Aegislash, that would be great. And if we really have to, we might just retreat, pay the retreat costs. That's going to be 3 cards right there. That's the double Dragon Energy as well as probably one of these 2. And if we top deck a via Seeker, I'm going to go that route. I'm just going to retreat. And yeah, again, I don't think my opponent can knock us out. 1, 2, 3, only 3 Pokemon in the discard pile. Not too concerned right there. So, I mean, yeah, my opponent can power up this Vespiquen in 2 turns, and he has a Flareon over there. Pretty scary stuff, but we can be patient. You know, my opponent's going to be patient, try to get these 2 basic energies on this Vespiquen in 2 turns, but hopefully by then we should be able to power up a Tyrantrum EX on the bench and take care of business that way. And ideally, yeah, we want to get rid of this Vespiquen in their next turn. If we can play a switch, that's ideal. But if we can't play a switch, then we can burn the energy and retreat. Now again, my opponent able to play more battle compressors can definitely get that going. 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon in the discard pile easily can add 2 more battle compressors. That's going to be 10 Pokemon in total. That would do let's see, was that B Revenge 20 plus 10? That's 120. Muscle Band 140. Yeah, I mean, still, that's gonna be a 2-hit knockout. Pretty dangerous. Oh, my opponent discarded a Lysander. Ooh, it's full art too. We see an Eevee as well as a Raichu, so that's gonna be 6 Pokemon in the discard pile. Looks like my opponent may be targeting at some point. Who knows? He may have a VS Seeker. He may target the Aegislash or even the Bronzongs over here, since that's a really good source of energy acceleration for us. And so it'd be very good for my opponent to target those Bronzongs, slow us down a little bit, and there it is. So that's 120, as I already mentioned. And could play a Hex Maniac. That could be troubling for my opponent. I'm going to play this right here. And let's go ahead. We will play the Fighting Energy onto this Tyrantrum. And we really need to hope that we can draw a switch off of this Shauna, okay? So, again, no need to play anything else onto the Aegislash. We're hitting for 100. My opponent's Pokemon here, besides the Shaman, are all under 100 HP. And so we'll just power up this Tyrantrum right here. And let's go for that Shauna. Do we get the switch? No, we don't. And, oh, I regret it. Oh, man. Should have played the energy drop onto this Tyrantrum and pay the retreat cost. Now we're going to pay the price by losing 2 prizes right here. And we didn't get it. So we're going to have to end the turn. A little bit tragic, but hey, we're going to have a Tyrantrum ready to go. And I really regret it. I was hoping... you gotta play. You gotta kind of be risky sometimes, but that wasn't worth it. I don't think it was worth it. Well, it is what it is. So we have right here the Sycamore, which we can via Seeker for, or we can get the Lysander as mentioned before and get rid of this Vespiquen, because this one with the DCE can't touch us, and my opponent doesn't have another Combi. Unless he plays another Combi this turn, we're gonna Lysander out this Vespiquen and take care of business, because this DCE here is attached to him. And my opponent's gonna take 2 turns. It will take 3 turns to do to use Flareon, and Flareon wouldn't even knock us out. So here we go. Let's just do that to get the Lysander, and we'll bring out this guy, and let's just go ahead. We'll power him up right here. And let's go with the Slash Blast in for 100, knocking him out. And again, my opponent with this Vespiquen, even with the free retreat, doesn't matter. He's got a DCE there. This Vespiquen won't be able to attack our Aegislash. Now, my opponent can still attack the Tyrantrum, but I don't think my opponent would want to do that, since, we can just hit it right back for 190. So we gotta wait and see, what does my opponent do here. He's gonna need a Combi and gotta need the Stadium to evolve right away. But it wouldn't matter, because my opponent would need like an Ether, but Ether's rotated out. So we see right here, my opponent's gonna Lysander out, maybe the Shaman, and knock out the Shaman EX. And that's going to be 2 more prizes for my opponent. And yeah, I feel pretty bad. Right there, here's the Shaman. Shaman's going to go down. I will knock out the Vespiquen. And again, just take care of business that way. But Tragically, yeah, the Shaman's going to go down. That's going to be 2 prizes here. Here's a super scoop up, flipping tails. Now, my opponent may be able to scoop up the Vespiquen and try to power it up some other way, but regardless, this Shaman's going to go down, and it's okay. That's why we're not playing this one. This can definitely be a target. I don't want to do that. We're not going to be playing that. We're probably just going to go for the Professor Birch's Observation, I think. Maybe just power up the Aegislash here. I think I might power up the Aegislash in case the Shamans come out, and that way I don't want to deal with the, you know, being short 10 damage. So I don't know. Definitely we could do Hex Maniac, and do that right there. Let's go ahead. We'll just get this right here. All right, so we can definitely play this on the Tyrantrum, but I'm actually going to play it on the Aegislash. Again, I don't want to see us be 1 short on the Shaman. And we can definitely play the Hex Maniac. That way the flare effect won't work. So let's do that. Oh, wait. That means our Mighty Shield won't work either. That's right. All right, let's go with the Professor Birch's Observation. Feeling risky there. Ah, we got tails. And let's just hit the Slash Blast right here. 120. And again, my opponent's going to need to probably Lysand out the Bronzong. It doesn't seem like my opponent would be able to knock out the Tyrantrum EX. And again, DCEs are the only way my opponent can really hit quick and fast attacks. We're going to keep the Shaman here. Definitely not going to play that. Now, my opponent can still snipe these 2 Bronzongs here, but again, I'll just respond. And the question is, does my opponent have enough ammunition each turn to evolve, you know, Pikachu into Raichu again and DCE? Now, that's already, that's only 1 DCE in the discard pile, so we can still see turn after turn with Raichus knocking out these Bronzongs, but my opponent's going to need more Pokemon on the bench continually to hit for at least, you know, 100 or so. So here comes the Raichu. Do we see the Lysander? And that's going to put us on edge for sure. We could see a VS Seeker for the Lysander again, bring out the Bronzong, and we'll be in trouble that way, that's for sure. We have 2 Dragon Energies, which we can play on the Tyrantrum, and then that way we can just keep attacking for 190. That'll be pretty funny. Here's a teammate, so we won't see the Lysander, and we could still see DCE, but that won't really work on us at least. We could have seen the Hex Maniac. If my opponent had that, I could have done Hex Maniac. Mighty Shield would have stopped working, and then my opponent could have attacked us for you know, Circle Circuit, but you know. That could have been an out for my opponent, but as of right now, he only has teammates, so he's chosen to do that. We're definitely behind in prizes. If anything, we should be able to take down this Raichu and go on from there. Now, my opponent may be searching for that DCE, and very likely has the DCE for sure. Only 10 cards left in his deck. We have 19. My opponent's down to 2 prizes. Here is a Fire Energy on the Combi. Alrighty then. Alright, so my opponent, yeah, we can't play this Shaman. That's gonna be easy, 2 prizes right there. Does my opponent have the Fire Energy? And yeah, that's gonna be a lot of damage. So, you know, I'm actually gonna retreat. I don't want to take any chances. We will retreat into the Tyrantrum here and go this route. We're gonna just Metal Lynx again onto the Aegislash and force my opponent to really play, you know, another Lysander or something. I think my opponent may have already done that, so I'm gonna be a little more risky. We'll even play that there. All right, so let's go with the Dragon Impact, and for sure we're gonna hit with that and that right there. All right, beautiful. We can still do a Dragon Impact in the next turn and be in healthy shape. Now my opponent would need to Lysander out the Aegislash and also get an energy drop and evolve the Combi. So that's what my opponent would need to do. And here comes the Combi here. Does the Combi have enough fuel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 Pokemon. No Muscle Band, so that's going to be 140 damage done on the Tyrantrum. And yeah, it's going to be pretty scary. You know, we got to deal with that. But I'm really thinking that Tyrantrum will survive, and if anything, we can try to maneuver around this. You know, we're definitely trailing right now, and we're being hunted down in this sense. So here is the Vespiquen. Does my opponent have the energy? And if he does, oh, here's a Battle Compressor. Gonna really try to milk out all the Pokemon and see if my opponent can knock out this Tyrantrum in one shot. And makes me pretty worried. I'm pretty concerned. Does my opponent have more Raichus here? Let's see, there's 1, 2 Raichus in the discard pile. My opponent could play one more, so that's already, unless he's playing a 2-2 line, Pikachu and Raichu, then that means his Raichu line may be done. Here comes a Blacksmith, and I think that's going to be going for the Vespiquen here. Should be able to hit us for a B Revenge, but we should be able to maneuver around that again. So we will bring out the Aegislash, knock out the Vespiquen, keep the Tyrantrum EX on the bench, safe and sound. So here's a Shaman. My opponent used the supporter for the turn, which was the Blacksmith. And so we won't see a Lysander at the very least. We should be able to knock out this Vespiquen in the next turn. My opponent's really going to be trying to dig for something to get maybe the Raichu, get another attacker going, really. And so that's going to be very problematic for my opponent. If anything, we will retreat. We got another double Dragon Energy here. We can power up the Tyrantrum to be kind of a pseudo backup attacker. And go that route there too. I'm going to play the Bronzor in the next turn. That way, if my opponent does choose their Lysander out, one of our Bronzors here, Bronzongs, we, at the very least, we should be able to still have 2 energy accelerators on the bench by the next turn, after my coming up turn. So, 3 energies dedicated on this Vespiquen. Wow. All right. And it's not going to be enough. I don't think so. I have a Hard Charm there, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 Pokemon in the discard pile, as well as the B Revenge, so that would be a total of 170, yep, minus the Hard Charm, unless my opponent has a Starling Megaphone. Here is a red card, no problem, we got red card into, like, the same hand. That's funny. Okay, so there's 150, we did survive the turn, and here's another Aegislash, which kind of don't need to play, so we will retreat into this right here. Like I said, we'll play this one, and we'll just energy accelerate, get some of these back here. This will be a backup attacker for sure, and we do have the Aegislash here as well, which we can play. So I'm gonna hang on. I think I'll keep the I'll play the Aegislash here. It can definitely be another backup attacker. Slash Blast, knocking out the Vespiquen right here. Now my opponent's gonna take 2 turns, unless my opponent has a Lysander and can so my opponent needs 3 cards: Raichu, DCE, Lysander. If he has that, he can take out our Tyrantrum EX. Man, we really need that AZ. Gosh, we could use that AZ. That way I can pick up this Tyrantrum. We got plenty of energies in the discard pile. Well, yeah, 3 basics, 2 metal. Alright, so here it is. Does my opponent have the Raichu? And does he have a DCE? Here is a VS Seeker. Could VS Seeker 4? Oh, no, it's a Blacksmith. Oh, man, Blacksmith right here onto the Pikachu. Could see the Pikachu do a quick attack. Oh, wow. The Blacksmith is very oh, it's going on to the Flareon. Oh, man. If my opponent can flip heads, can hit us for, what is that, 160. We'll survive the turn. Oh, perfect. No way. We picked this guy up. Oh, that is beautiful. We'll just Metal Links onto this Aegislash here and be on our merry way. Oh, man, we have another. This is supposed to be Tyrantrum's show, but we'll stick with this. And we'll just take out this Pikachu here. Again, with the Hard Charm here, my opponent shouldn't be able to knock us out. Even if he flipped heads, we will survive the turn. And my opponent's down to 1 card, so this is going to be very interesting. He could Lysander out this Aegislash here and knock him out. You know, I think that may have been a mistake of mine, because this one's not protected by a Hard Charm. My opponent's got 6 cards in his hand, could very well have the Energy and the Lysander, but even if my opponent flipped heads, he would need a Muscle Band to knock out the Aegislash here on the bench. Now, if my opponent had a Muscle Band here and flipped heads, that could hit for 100 times 2. That would knock out this one, even with the even with the Hard Charm. So my opponent would need, for sure, the Muscle Band to get the job done. Muscle Band, Energy, flip heads. That's that's really what my opponent needs. So here is the VS Seeker. All right, that could go for a Blacksmith, and so here comes the Blacksmith. And do we see the Muscle Band? And we got to see if my opponent flips heads. Now my heart is pounding. This is the moment of truth right here. Do we see a Muscle Band? And if we don't see a Muscle Band, we will survive the turn. My opponent flips tails, and it's GG. I'm going to let my opponents know. And it's GG right here, friends. GG. Let's, you know what? Yeah, we could go with this one here. Yeah, it's just, there we go. Guarantee it, 120. This is all right. We are gonna play another match because this is Tyrantrum's show, right? This is Tyrantrum's show. We gotta play another match. All right, so here we go. Well, oh wait, not just yet. You guys want to see stats, right? Stats. We hit for 170, and Age of Slash was the MVP. Well, hey, actually, Tyrantrum got a little action in there. He was able to hit for 190 right there. Biggest attack, 190. That was done by yours truly, Tyrantrum. And oh my goodness, we played 18 energies. Wow. All right. So one last match here, and that'll be it for the day. All right, we're gonna be playing against Mr. Fish, and here we go. I wasn't really paying attention. My opponent's playing with grass leaves and grass coins, and yes, we'll get to go first. That way we can evolve first. And we start off with a lot of Pokemon here. That is great. We're actually going to lead with the Age Slash here with the Mighty Shield, and adding some pressure there for my opponent not to play any special energies, but we do start off with a bunch of Pokemon here, especially with double dragon energies, got the Sky Field. We got an amazing start. My opponent has a good start as well. And here's a Combi and whatnot. So let's just go ahead. We're going to Lysander it out and end the turn. I don't want to see my opponent play a Forest of Giant Plants and evolve right away. And then being able to use Battle Compressor and get rid of a bunch of things as well. Muscle Band. We see Muscle Band again. So it looks like the Spinarak might attack. We have a Fairy Energy. Very interesting. Here is the Gyarados as well as the Vespiquen right here. We got a secret rare Trainer's Mail there as well. Here is a Sceptile EX. And then we got that going there for us, against us right there with the Ultra Ball, discarding a Cottony and another Spinarak. We see the Unknown as well, being able to draw another card. We see the Gyarados here. Does my opponent have the Giant Forest Plant Stadium? My opponent plays another Hidden Power Unknown here, or not Hidden Power, Farewell Letter. And that's it. That ends my opponent's turn. And, you know, we're going to probably play it slow here. I'm just going to play this energy here, and I'm going to go for the Shauna. We did get a Bronzong here. Oh, too bad. I should have... I need to do an undo. But that's all right. Let's go ahead. We're going to get the Shaman out here and draw into some more cards. And let's hopefully... Yes, we got another Bronzor. We got another Age Slash. And we can fill up the bench a little bit, but... yeah, actually, we're pretty good. We're pretty much set, and here it is. We'll play Hard Charms right here. I'm going to hang on to this Hard Charm, and we will end the turn. So, as of right now, I think what we're going to need to do, here comes the Gyarados. We got a switch right here which we can play. Got to wait and see as my opponent play Retreat. We see a Professor Sycamore. Discard everything there. Now, I need to evolve this Bronzong again, so my opponent counters the Stadium. That's fine with me. And we'll just get rid of the Shamans. They're definitely a target. I don't want my opponent to Lysander out those Shamans. So they're used for what they needed to be used for. We do have the Sacred Ash, which we can always get them back. Here is my opponent with the Poison right now. Again, we have the switch available to us. And so here is the Double Dragon Energy. Our Tyrantrum EX is super powered up. And we're just going to have to... you know, I'm going to go for this. Let's go for that right there. We can always add more energy. Sadly, we didn't... So I'm just going to get the other Bronzong right here. Yeah, sadly, you know, it is what it is. So we can actually power up this Age Slash. The one with the Hard Charm. Yeah, let's go ahead. We're just going to power him up. Get these going here. Got a backup attacker. And here we go. Dragon Impact. And we'll do 3 energies right here with the DC Double Dragon and a Metal Energy. So in the next turn, we should be all set to attack with the Age Slash as well. And that's pretty good. And then we can have the Tyrantrum ready to go for the next turn. If we can get another switch, that is. Too bad there's Foldstone's not in the format right now. I gotta wait for the next set to do that. But here comes the Vespiquen with the gonna have a Bee Revenge right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Pokemon plus Muscle Band. That's going to be 120 with that Bee Revenge in total. We will survive the turn, but... oh, 110. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We have a Hard Charm there. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Going to play the switch right here. I'll play this right there. And, let's see. You know, I can probably just power up this Tyrantrum. This is a Tyrantrum EX deck. kind of just want to power him up, you know, right? All right, so there we go. We could go for a Hex Maniac. Might as well. And then let's go for the Slash Blast. That's a knockout on this little Vespiquen right there. And here is the Sacred Ash. Look at that. If we can get that Skyfield, then we can probably get all these Shames back in. But I'll probably hang on to it until some more Pokemon get knocked out. Now, we're going to have to deal with this Sceptile EX. No problem. Oh, wait, my opponent brings out the Vespiquen instead. And no fear there. Now, we should be able to power up this Tyrantrum pretty soon. We'll knock him out. We'll have this Tyrantrum ready to go. And so this guy's going to be all set. So let's go ahead. We'll just knock him out. No worries here. As soon as this Sceptile EX comes out, we have a Tyrantrum EX ready to knock him out in one hit with Dragon Impact. So here is the Sceptile EX. Again, we can pay the retreat cost if we really wanted to. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do that right now. All right. So I've got one energy here. All right. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, let's go ahead. And no need to grab anything since we don't have space. Let's play this right here. And Metal Links right there. And we'll pay the retreat costs. There's that. And then we'll just might as well shuffle everything back in for now. And then we'll play the Sycamore. Oh, there's an escape rope, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead. We'll hit for the Dragon Impact. And I'm going to choose the 3 metal energies because we can always cycle those back into our bench from our Bronzongs here. And taking 2 prizes right there. Convincing win right here. Of course, we have a Windy Mischief. Move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. But no problem right here. We'll go with the Dragon Impact. Knocking this little Whimsicott and taking the victory here. 190. That is impressive. Dragon Impact, 3 energies. Not quite like the Black Huron, right? You know, 200 for Black Ballista, but man, that's pretty good. So here we go. Look at the stats. Hitting for 190, 770. If only that was, we can do single digits. It would have been cool if we saw 777. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tyrantrum EX. Not a P. Tyrantrum EX. Be pretty cool if he had a P at the end, right? Alright, well, this is it for the video. I'd love to play another match, and you know, I wanted to do a really quick Tyrantrum EX profile again, and I'm kind of short on time, so my real career, my real job, has taken a huge hit on my time, and I haven't had as much time to make Pokemon TCG videos, and I apologize for that. So anyways, if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below this video, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks so much for being a part of this journey, being a part of this adventure, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.